Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be how to make rice. Now I'm talking about white rice, and the reason that I'm making this video is number one, I'm making dinner tonight. So when I was younger, it was so hard to make white rice. It never came out correctly. It was either too mushy or it was still hard, like it wasn't cooked all the way. And I struggled forever to make white rice. It is not in my blood to make white rice. So it wasn't until now, like the past couple of years, that I make really good white rice. It always comes out cooked perfectly. It's delicious and it's so easy and it's so simple. So I know that it's just something that people struggle with. White rice is not the easiest thing to make if you don't know what you're doing. That's today's video. We're gonna make some white rice to go with tonight's dinner, and let's do it.
But our hearts forever stay the same. I'll be here when things go south.
Okay, so we are in the kitchen and here's what we need. We need white rice. This is jasmine rice. It's my favorite rice, and for me it's just easy to cook. So we have jasmine rice, we have water in my Disney Starbucks cup. Then we have salt and oil. So you could use whatever oil you like. Some people use vegetable oil, some people use avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil. I'm using avocado oil today. So those are our ingredients. And also I use a dry half cup measuring cup. I do know that there's supposedly, sorry, that's the Miami and me, supposedly. I do know that there is supposedly a difference between dry measuring cups and wet measuring cups, and I should be using the dry for the rice and the wet for the water. However, I use the dry for both and it just works out better that way. So today we're going to be using 2 cups of rice, 2.5 cups of water, a pinch of salt, and a little bit of olive oil, and that's it. So for me, I feel that the trick to this is using half a cup more than the number of cups of rice that you have. So since I'm doing 2 cups of rice, we're gonna do 2.5 cups of water. That's where it gets kind of mixed up, is that some people say it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Some people do the spoon in the rice situation. This is what I do, and it comes out perfect every time, unless I forget about it and leave it on the burner and then it gets burned. But that's not the rice and the water's fault, that's my fault. So anyways, I'm going to do it in this pot, but it's not a huge pot. I got this pot from TJ Maxx. They always have, it's Masterclass. They always have this brand there. So when you're cooking rice, you don't want to use a super wide pot or a shallow pot, because the water is going to evaporate before the rice is cooked all the way. Those are our ingredients and tools that we're going to use. So now let's make the rice. Okay, so we have our pot. I have not turned on the stove yet. I don't turn the stove on until I have the rice and the water and the salt and the oil in the pot. So we're going to take our rice, and with our half cup measuring cup, I'm gonna do 4 half cups, and 4 half cups equals 2 cups. So that's 2 cups of rice. So we're gonna do 2.5 cups of water. So 5 half cups equals 2.5 cups. So now we have our rice and our water. I'm going to put as much salt as I think I need to put. I don't measure the salt, to be honest with you. I just kind of sprinkle it until my body says to stop, I guess. And then the same for the avocado oil. I don't put a lot, but I just kind of do a little drizzle. I believe the oil just helps the rice so that it doesn't stick together into like one big mushy ball of rice. Then I stir the rice and the oil and the salt and everything. I stir it together. I stir it really, really well. And then we're gonna put the burner on a medium low heat. So my burners, I don't know if everyone has these. I know that if you have a coil burner, it's different. I used to have a coil burner in the apartment and I wanted to die. It was so annoying. It never cooked things right. I have burned quite a few pots of rice and other food because of the coil burners. So this stove itself, it has like a smaller burner and then a larger burner. Since this is a smaller pot, I'm gonna use the smaller burner side. So once it starts to boil, I'm going to stir it again, turn it lower, just let it kind of simmer and do its thing for a good 15-20 minutes until all of the water is evaporated and absorbed and the rice is cooked. So let's do that. Okay, so now I don't know if you could see, but it is starting to boil a little bit, or more so simmer. So when I start to see the bubbles, I'm gonna give it a little stir. And then from there, it should start to boil up pretty quickly. Okay, so it's starting to boil. I'm gonna stir it again. That's another thing that some people say. Some people say once you put the rice in, you stir it once and that's it. But I stir it a couple of times. Like while it's coming to this point, as you've seen, I stir it a few times. So now it's boiling as much as it's going to boil. So now I'm gonna turn the heat down to low. I'm gonna give it one more stir and then I'm covering it, and that's it. After you cover it, then you don't touch it again until it's done. So it's covered and we're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna leave it alone for, again, about 15-20 minutes, and I'll bring you back when it's ready.
I'll be here when things go south. We can take our time just to figure it out.
Okay, so it has been probably about 10 minutes, and I'm just gonna kind of poke the rice. Now, after the rice starts cooking, you don't want to deal with it with a spoon anymore. You want to deal with a fork. And I'm just gonna poke at it. I'm gonna let it go a little bit more, just because I do want it to dry out a little bit. It's not mushy or anything. As you can see, the rice is like separated. So it's not mushy. It is cooked. It's nice and soft. But I'm just gonna let it dry out a little bit more. Okay, so it has been, I would say, another 4, maybe 5 minutes. And it's perfect. It's fluffy. The rice is all separated. Let me see. Let me taste. Yup. It is perfectly cooked. And let me see if I can show you. I'm gonna turn the burner off. I don't know if you could really see, but it's not stuck to the bottom. It's not burned. Let me flip it. There's no burned rice. It's just perfectly cooked, fluffy, soft, everything you want it to be. Alrighty, so that is how I make my perfect white rice. It comes out perfect every time. To be honest, I'm still working on brown rice. Brown rice is just so tough. So I have not perfected brown rice yet, but my white rice is perfect. So if you want to try to make the perfect white rice, I suggest you try out my methods. And if it works, let me know down below, leave a comment. If it doesn't work, I still want to know. Let me know what you did and maybe I can help you get it right. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.